Smile for the camera.
Totally just heard you.
Yeah.
Have you ever wondered why your children are screaming when you drop them off at the daycare? Or as children, have you ever wanted to tell your parents what really happens when they're gone and when they drop you off? Sometimes they don't believe you because you tell them that someone hit you, but they might think that you're just being dramatic. Well, what if they had cameras to go back and watch and see if you're really telling the truth or not? Today, I'm here to talk to you about why camera recording should be mandatory in daycare centers. I'm going to share with you the importance of having them and the reasons behind the benefits to be able to go back and look at them and watch them to make sure that everyone's doing what they're supposed to do. And your purpose here is to listen and understand and take notes on when next time you drop your child off at the daycare or go to the daycare to make sure that they have cameras and that they're being held accountable for what they said that they would do. First, I'm going to tell you what could happen while your children were at daycare. Next, I'm going to talk to you about how it's not only the bad things that we catch on camera, but the good things that we can catch on camera as well. And lastly, I'm going to discuss with you the violations and the promises that they make to you, and if they're really being held or not. First, I'm going to discuss with you about what really is going on while your child is at daycare. Most people think that their child is being dropped off and is in good hands for the whole time that they are there. They believe everything that they've heard and everything that was told to them in the paperwork and everything that the workers told them that when their child was dropped off. However, on News 12 in Van Austin, Texas, the owner was caught putting drugs into the children's milk to try to help them sleep. She says that the children were too rowdy and too loud and crazy, and there was no other way that she could get them to sleep, so she ended up putting drugs in their milk. She ended up giving this to 16 different children, and the only reason we knew that this was true is because she came forward, not because there was cameras and she got caught. So there are other instances in which this could happen, and they would never have been caught because they wouldn't have come forward and confessed what they had done. That is why it is so important and everyone needs cameras in their daycare facilities. Other things that could happen while the children were at daycare is they could be left unattended. The workers could leave to go to the restroom or help another child and leave infants alone by themselves. Another thing that I read in this article was that in the paperwork it said that there would only be 3 infants in a room at a time with the teacher. However, the teacher would tell them, oh, I'm going to put 4 or 5 kids in here with you, but don't tell anyone because we could lose our job and things like that. So since there was no cameras, no one ever really got caught, and they were overbooking children so that they could get more money out of selfish reasons. Another thing is the number of workers. They might tell you that there's going to constantly be 5 workers on at all times. However, if one gets sick, they don't want to cancel the day, so they just lie about it and no one will ever catch them. And also, it's very easy for workers and teachers to get frustrated with the children and take it out on them, like be more aggressive when they grab their arm and yank them places, or give them spankings when that's not their right or their place at all, and just different things like that. Lastly, the things that could happen, what could go on when you're not there, is the cleanliness of the facility. You would think that it would be right for every night and every morning to sanitize the whole facility. However, out of the laziness of the workers, a lot of times they will just close and not even sanitize any of the equipment. So it is very important for cameras to be there to catch things like that. The next thing I'm going to talk to you about is how it's not always the bad things that can be caught on camera, but the good things as well. There's this camera company called Watch Me Grow, and they provide cameras in different daycare facilities so that you're able to do exactly what it said, watch your child grow. Because being at work and being away from your children, it's really hard to be able to watch them grow up and see who they've become and stuff like that. So using Watch Me Grow, you can watch your child at any time. You can get it from the internet, or you can watch it on your phone or your iPad or your iPhone or whatever. However you would like to have access to it. It's just a really neat way to be able to watch your children while they're in the hands of others. It's also good for the parents to use to see if they're really doing what they are working on at home. So say you're working with your child on sharing and you're wondering if your child's really sharing at daycare, you can go on to Watch Me Grow and see if your children are really sharing their toys with the other kids that are there with them. It's also for a safety thing, and you can see, like I talked about earlier, if everyone is doing what they said they'd done in the paperwork. Lastly, I'm going to talk to you about the violations. On Embassy 25, they went through all of the daycares in their area and got the sheet of violations that they said was that they were doing for their daycare, and they went and checked and see if they were holding true to that. And the only daycare that didn't break any of the violations was the only daycare with cameras. So that is why it's very important for daycares to have cameras, because it gives you that accountability and it holds you true to everything that you've said you will do, because at any given time you can go back and watch anything that's happened. Not only the parents can, but your boss and the directors and different coworkers and friends and family, or anyone who wants access to these videos can go back. There was one instance that a child got hurt while she was at daycare, and they didn't tell the parents that she got hurt. They just let her go home, and she had ended up breaking her wrist, and nothing was ever said to them about anything. So it is very, very, very important for there to be cameras in all daycare facilities to catch things that they lie about, or to catch things that they said that they would do that they really hadn't, and just to be able to watch your child grow. It is really important just to be able to have that accountability, to go back and understand that these things it's very easy to say that we're only going to have 3 infants in a room at one time and then put 5. And it's really easy for kids as well to be dramatic about what happens at daycare and say, oh, mommy, they didn't let me go TT the whole time I was there, but you really have time and access to go back and watch videos to see if that really did happen or not. So you can communicate with your child and communicate with the directors and the workers of the daycare and just be held more accountable. And that's why it is so important for the next time that you go to sign your child up for a daycare, it's really important for you to double check and triple check to make sure that they have cameras that are rolling and filming, because it's also possible for them to put up cameras but not have them playing. So just think about next time you go to drop off your kid to make sure that they have cameras. Thank you.